Emerson said, properly, there is no history, only biography. Remember that. History is about people. It's about people and about backgrounds and about personalities, and it's about their background and what they want and their times. It's not about a system of facts and circumstances and right and wrong and evil and no. It's about people. It's about people and times and humanity. When you really get it down to the granular level, to the atomic level, you'll realize that's what I'm talking about. And Putin is right. He's absolutely right. Excuse me. So is Trump. This has nothing to do with any of the crap you're listening to on cable news. For God's sakes, are you still watching cable news? I don't know what to tell you. People care more about red dyes in cereal than they do the crap they're actually contaminating their brains with. And that's what cable news is. And it's one of these things which I'm so very sorry, but the truth is that's it. Let's cut through the noise. Let's frame this bluntly. Putin's right. That's the core. This is what this is about. Once you understand it, then you understand the Anchorage Summit. And I'm not going to go into a lot of history. History is okay to a point. History sometimes can obfuscate current. Look, I can talk about slavery all I want, but sometimes there are events that happen just now that have nothing to do with slavery or nothing to have to do with Dred Scott, or sometimes there's just two people who happen to be black and white pissed off at each other, and that's it. But we always want to make it into some grand, some grand scheme that involves this, this derivative issues. Stop it. The Anchorage Summit wasn't just another diplomatic photo op. It was a moment of clarity. And this is what I want you to understand. Whether the Western press likes it or not, Putin is right. And from the beginning of this war, he has said the conflict could only be addressed by dealing with and addressing the root causes. It's that simple. It was always NATO's eastward march, the expansion, Ukraine's obsession with membership in the bloc in NATO, and the refusal of Washington and Brussels to give Russia an equal say in Europe's security system. Period. End of discussion. And I'll make it even simpler. 3 things. Remember this. This is what it's about. It's not about peace versus ceasefire. We'll get to ceasefire in a moment. 3 things. Number 1, and just look at this on your own. I'm not going to go through this. The 4 oblasts, O-B-L-A-S-T-S, and Crimea are Russian. Okay? That's it. You can argue all day long. It's ours. And you can find out why they're there. It's about referenda, about ownership, about history. You just that's it. That's number 1, okay? Trust me. Nobody cared about Zaporozhye. That's not what this is about. But that's number 1, okay? The 4 oblasts and Crimea. That's number 1. Number 2. And he has said this forever. Ukraine is not going to be a member of NATO. It's not going to join NATO. Under any circumstances, it's not going to join NATO. Period. End of discussion. No negotiating. No nothing. And they haven't. They haven't. They haven't. There is absolutely nothing. No move. None. I'm changing. By the way, always check things. Check. Go back. Check facts. Check names. Check definitions. In the middle of a sentence, always check. Don't worry. People will appreciate it for you. Since 24 February 2022, Putin has said the same thing. Now, just because you're consistent doesn't mean you're right. But there's no mystery as to what he said. So 2 things. 4 oblasts plus Crimea, number 1. Number 2, no membership in NATO and no security. No, for example, no system like, well, you're not going to be a member of NATO, but we're going to come up with this to call Credo. It's NATO. It's the same thing where we're going to be coming in and basically arming him or backing him up under a different name. No, you're not going to have this on his border. Remember, it's only Ukraine. He's not talking about anybody else. The same way we would be acting if China, Oh, you've heard this so many times. If China were to boost and were to propel and were to augment and support and fortify and garrison, for example, China on our border. Okay, so that's number two. And number three, Ukraine will never be armed. They have a few things here and there just to protect themselves, but no, you're never going to leave them as a power, and that's it. And nobody wants this. Nobody gives a damn about Ukraine. Nobody cares about Ukraine. They never did. It was about smashing Putin. This post-Russophobic Boris and Natasha, these remnants, these vestigial hate tendrils, these markers. It's kind of a weird angiogenesis that keeps going back to create new circuits, new vasculature of hatred. They can't stand this guy. You've heard of TDS, meet PDS. They go nuts with him. And he has this cool, he doesn't lose his, they are, no. In terms of, put it this way, in terms of, cool, Putin is Brando. Putin is Jimmy Dean. The West is B. Arthur, Golden Girls. We're horrible. Matlock in the afternoon. This just isn't our thing, because you've got people pushing us. This isn't a natural, organic move on our part. We don't want this. Other people want this. NATO wants this. They want this. Now, in Alaska, President Trump agreed. And he cut through the European theater nonsense and echoed the Russian line. A ceasefire is pointless. Only a permanent settlement will do. You don't let somebody... Quick timeout. There's a YouTube picture of somebody who wanted to actually take on a professional boxer in the ring. I don't know why, but they did. And they wanted to show you, this is what an average Joe would be against a professional boxer. A professional boxer will kill you. Because it's what they do. And during the course, this one guy thought he could fight a boxer. And during the course of this fight, he said, "Hey, time out." He goes, "Time out? What do you mean time out? There's no time out. We don't do a time out. There's no time out." Same thing with ceasefire. Ceasefire gives you a time out to regroup, to catch your breath. No. Now, this is the truth that nobody in Brussels or Kyiv or anybody wants to hear. Temporary pauses in fighting only allow Ukraine to reload with Western weapons and stretch out the slaughter and delay the inevitable. And Putin is absolutely right. Neutrality for Ukraine, recognition of territorial realities, and a security framework that acknowledges Russia's stake are the only way forward, period. Anything else is fantasy. It ain't gonna happen. And Trump's got to be able to say, to have the power and the guts and the leadership to say he's right. This isn't our battle. This isn't Trump's fight. Trump is committed to. Israel is committed to. NATO is, he wants to be everything to anybody who wants to be this tough guy. You don't want to be a tough guy. You don't want to be a tough guy. They used to always talk about Carlo Gambino. Carlo Gambino, probably, arguably the most powerful mafioso in the world. And he was this little old man. Oh, hi, how are you? He didn't have to show you anything. You trembled when you saw him. Oh, my God. Trump still likes that high noon kind of stuff. That's kind of his name. Is why, listen, it's why we're endeared to him. It's why we love him. Now, for decades, many people have warned that NATO expansion would wreck Ukraine. Prominent minds, Mearsheimer and Saxon, and McGregor, they've all said flatly that the West provoked this war by breaking promises of no eastward expansion. That is the genesis of this. And they have shown specifically with battlefield data that Ukraine cannot win. They all converge in the same conclusion. Putin's argument isn't propaganda, it's strategic reality. This is something they can't understand. Now, Europe panics at the idea that Trump and Putin might cut a deal. They don't want them to cut a deal without them. Well, that panic is revealing, because it means that Europe knows the days of dictating terms are over. This is the end of Europe. Remember, my friend, this is a post-Brexit kind of a thing too, which is they're still stinging from. I know it's Britain and everything, but still the EU And you're seeing the collapse of the globalist world, the globalist constituencies. The days of their dictating terms are over, and the balance of power is shifting. It's a multipolar world right now, and Putin is right about that too. See, history will judge the Alaska summit not by what was signed that day, but by the fact that Washington finally admitted what Moscow had been saying all along. Peace will come only when the West faces reality. This is the part that gets me. This is the part which people do not understand. And listen to me when I'm telling you this. You're hearing things right now. You're hearing about, it's almost like Freudian, this thing about how Trump made. The New York Post, I never, ever recommend you reading the New York Post or watching Fox. But it's only good to read and hear them to understand just the lunacy of this. They live in this tough guy world that doesn't make any sense anymore. And I am, to use the term, I think, listen, Mearsheimer and others have made it clear. It's called a realist. It's the way it is. It's the way it is. Do you know what hospice is? Do you know what hospice is? Hospice is realism. It's realism. You know what rehabilitation is? It's realism. You know what amputation is? It's realism. You know what? There's certain things you say, we have to take a different tack. Hospice, I thought, is never giving up. It's recognizing there's a new shift, a new stage, a new aspect of what's going on. It's that simple. And what we have to do right now, very simply, my friend, is to understand a couple of things. And I mean this very, very clearly. We cannot allow this NATO neocon military-industrial complex, war profiteering, these ghouls dictate what we're doing. We have limited resources, we have limited time, and we're being stretched thin in the Middle East and in Europe, and here. And this is not our fight. Worry here. Worry here. Putin has never threatened me. No Viet Cong, no Vietnamese, no Iraqi, no Hezbollah, no Palestinian, no Israeli has ever affected me here in my country. The people who want to take away my right to speak and to think and to express myself are Americans. Americans. My enemy is here in terms of my inability to speak and to express myself and to vote. I'm worried about crime. I'm worried about the future. I'm worried about our children. I'm worried about here. I don't give a damn about Kyiv. I don't care about the Black Sea. I don't care. I can't care about everything. I don't care. It's like when you go to visit a relative in the hospital and they have they're sharing a room. You kind of like this guy next door in the bed, but you don't care about them. They're not yours. You don't wish them harm, but if you've got to pick between your relative and this one, you're going to go with your relative, not because you're mean or insensitive, because you're realistic. And that's what this is about, my friend. Now you're going to hear more from me. And I want you to listen very carefully. I want you to weigh in. Do me a favor. Use your most sober, your most serious sense and come forward and tell me, what do you think about this? Who's right, who's wrong, and why? Why did they make these ridiculous notions about... Did you hear the story about how Putin looked up and saw a B-2 and said, oh my God, he knew all about the B-2? You think he's never seen this before, heard of it? He might have not been underneath it when it flew over, but do you really think he has? You don't think... They've got hypersonic missiles. What are you talking about? They actually made him out to be, hey, what's that airplane thing you got up there? That. Dear God. To my friends, I ask you to like this video. Please subscribe to the channel. Hit the little bell so you're notified of live streams and new videos. And whatever you do, I beg, beseech, import you. And you must subscribe. 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 And I've got some questions for you. Comment. Accordingly, comment. As you see fit.